What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Glad everybody could be on. So tonight we're in for a special deal. We have a couple of different stories here from coaches as well as challengers. This is the first time we're doing this as a team. So my name is Rudy, and I'm just the host of the board. I'm going to start it off. Then we're going to go to Nilda. Or is it Amy? Who's going to go first? No, I know we're going to go first, but after that, we're going to be interviewing Lisa.
You said Amy?
Okay. All right, perfect. So we'll start it off right now. Just to give you a little background, I've been doing Beachbody myself since 2014. I joined, actually, Wendy's challenge group. Wendy was doing it since more or less the beginning, middle of 2014, and then I started later on in the end. And we all have reasons for coming in the morning. My reason itself was pretty much I was having a lot of ulcers, not ulcers, but acid reflux, excuse me, and it was really bad. I was going through a lot of pain at night, I couldn't sleep, coughing. So I went to a doctor, got checked out, and like any guy, I guess, on the call, you'd know that we wait till the last minute, and by doing so, you prolong things. It's worse for you. So when I did get to the doctors, he checked me out. I had a very high triglycerides as well. He found he prescribed me medicine for the acid reflux, medicine for the triglycerides, and another medicine to help with both things because I was taking so many medicines. So he prescribed me like 3 different medicines. Triglycerides are supposed to be around 250 to 300, and they were at 1500. So I was in a bad place myself, and I was declined for life insurance from 2 different companies. They didn't want to insure me. So that alone will tell you where I'm coming from and how, I had to change my life, and I got into Beachbody working out with her group. Then I saw how fulfilling it was, and I started coaching and helping others to do their journey. And that's where we come with our first challenger. So with that said, I wanted to introduce Lisa. And I want actually Wendy to introduce her because Wendy actually knew her before me. So.
Hi, guys. So Wendy here. I was the one who got him to, get himself going through a healthy and fit journey because he was in his 30s and really, in bad shape at the time. You didn't tell him how much pounds he lost. He started doing, what did you do first? Les Mills Pump?
Les Mills Pump.
He doesn't have that workout anymore, but he did that. And after that, 21-day fix, and he lost about 33 pounds. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so at that point, I had myself joined because I was already in my health and fitness journey beginnings. But it wasn't until I joined an accountability group that I really learned what it was to eat clean, because we think eating healthy is the same thing as eating clean. There's differences in that. Portion control, keeping yourself accountable, having the support, motivation, and all that good stuff. So I joined, I think it was mid-year of 2014. And then, here I am now. I'm in the best shape of my life. I will be turning 40 next month. No, 2 months from now, in May. And I thank Beachbody. I thank being part of an accountability group. But anyway, so back to our first guest. Where is she? I don't see you, Lisa.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Lisa. So Lisa.
No, can't hear you.
Oh.
Now you can.
Now I
Yes.
can.
Okay,
So
perfect.
Lisa and I go way back. Actually, Lisa and I were in kindergarten together. And I was born in Mount Vernon, New York. And then when I always think about grades versus age, when I was going into 2nd grade, my family moved to Yonkers. And I never saw Lisa until we moved back to Mount Vernon, and I was entering the 8th grade. And I remembered her name because I remember we were the shortest girls in kindergarten. And I had 2 pigtails straight, and Lisa had 2 pigtails curly. So we reconnected, and we've been friends ever since. We even went away to college together. Lisa was in SUNY Oswego for 1 year and then transferred over to New York. So we go way back. I mean, she's like a sister to me. And so I'll let her tell a little bit about the story, but I just wanted to say how we are connected. So Lisa, tell us, well, we already know your name, Lisa Aguirre Rivera, right? Tell
Yes.
us where you live and describe your family.
So I now live in Orlando, Florida, and I live with my husband and two beautiful, intelligent girls, 12 and 7 years old.
Okay. How long have you been trying to lose weight? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Okay, well, I've been thin for most of my life. So I think it was a little bit after my second pregnancy. I had 2 C-sections. It was like 2010, 2011. I always never really ate really healthy at all. I just ate what I wanted. I never really had a problem with gaining weight, but as you get older, as you know, you do tend to gain weight. So it was a little bit after my second pregnancy where I started to gain weight, where it started affecting me. And so I would say 2011.
Okay. Did you try, what did you try back then?
I tried to stay active. I actually gained at the point before I started Beachbody. I was about 3 pounds away from what I gained, what I weighed at full term with my daughters. So that's when it hit me, and I was just like, oh my God, I was trying to do stuff. I joined gyms. I love dancing, you know that. So I tried to do Zumba classes and like kickboxing, cardio. But the thing is, it was never really that consistent. It was just like whenever I could, you know, it was just never consistent enough to see results.
How were you feeling back then in terms of like emotionally? You had gained all this weight. Now, Lisa, you can't see Lisa's height right now, but Lisa and I, you need to, sorry about that. So Lisa and I are about the same height. We were like 5'1.5", but we always said 5'2". So at that time when Lisa had gained all that weight, I know you reached out to me and we had talked about that, but how were you feeling back then after gaining all that weight?
It was a lot of emotions. I felt very frustrated with myself. I wasn't seeing results and I was trying, but it just, like I said, nothing was consistent enough for me to see results, but I felt like I was active. I know I wasn't eating right. And just before I got with you, I remember started to eat healthy, starting to look up healthier meals, clean eating, and trying all that and working out. But I was looking for more something with I wanted to see results. So the way I was feeling then was just very frustrated. I remember going to try on clothes in the clothing store, and I would go in with like 15 shirts and like leave with one, if that, or none, and be like, I hate it. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I felt inside. And it affected me all around, like in my life. And like, you know, I almost went into a depression type state. Like, you just don't feel good inside. Yeah, so I was feeling really frustrated.
If you can think back, I know you said you had joined the gym, you were doing Zumba classes. Like, how much money you think you spent?
You know, it's funny because when I went to go quit the gym, I was like, yeah, I think I've donated enough money to you guys because it was just not working with me with my schedule. Like, my schedule, sometimes I'm in management, so sometimes I open and sometimes I close. And the Zumba classes were like 2 nights a week, and sometimes I would end up closing on those nights, and it just wouldn't be consistent enough for me to make it to those classes. And that's what I enjoyed about the gym, is going to the classes more than anything else. I felt weird not knowing what to do and going in there and start with lifting weights. I just felt weird. So the classes was my go-to, and it just wasn't enough for me.
And how did you feel, even though you were going to the gym, you were doing the Zumba classes, how did you feel that you weren't like reaching your goal, like you weren't losing weight?
I mean, just seeing that, you know, my main goal was I started gaining a lot of weight in my midsection, my arms and my back, and I was just like, I just noticed that I just knew that I wasn't consistent enough, that I needed something that I would be able to do on my own time, and that I just wasn't being able to get there at the times that matched with my schedule. So I didn't feel good about it at all. So eventually I ended up quitting all my gym memberships and stuff like that.
Tell us, how did you learn about Beachbody?
Well, before I had attempted to do Insanity with a friend of mine. We were doing some photography work together. I would see her every day, and she bought the Insanity pack, and she was like, let's do this. And basically I was at her house every day. So we would try to do it, but we never completed a program. So obviously we're never going to see results. And then, I saw an infomercial on Body Beast, and I was like, oh my God, I love weightlifting and stuff like that. I just didn't know how to do it myself at a gym. So I remember buying that, and that's when you reached out to me about, like, because I wanted to know more about Shakeology and more about nutrition and accountability groups. So that's when me and you hooked up.
Right. And then I remember you were doing the workouts.
I was.
You didn't have the nutrition piece connected.
Correct.
You weren't doing the Shakeology. So what programs have you completed? So I know Body Beast, right?
I started with Body Beast. I did the full 90 days. I lost, I believe it was between 35 and 36 pounds. I don't remember exactly. With just Body Beast alone, that's a 90-day program. So it was 3 months, and I completed the entire program. I lost all that weight. I was feeling great. And then after that, you recommended Hammer and Chisel. So I did that next. And then I think I did 22-minute hardcore. And then I did 2 rounds of Core de Force, which was awesome too. And I lost a total of 40 pounds.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That is amazing. So tell us, how does your family feel about your transformation?
They're just proud of me. I mean, I think it means a lot to me to inspire my own family and to inspire others. But when you inspire your own family and they make little comments, and like my little one is constantly, she's like so proud of me, and it just feels so great. Yeah, it's great.
And I'm sure that they try to work out with you. They see you.
Yeah, she always does, but she's exhausted. She cracks me up. She starts with the warm up, and she's like, all right, I'm good with the warm up. I'm like, we haven't started yet. She's hysterical. But she does try, and she thinks she's getting stronger with her little warm up.
That's funny. So how do you feel now with this huge physical transformation? I mean, 40 pounds is a lot of weight to lose. How do you feel?
Yeah. Oh, just amazing. I can't even like really describe how I feel into words. It's just been, I just have so much energy. I mean, in comparison to the life I lived I basically would just have coffee in the morning and just have 1 meal a day in my lunch. And sometimes I wouldn't even eat dinner. And just relying on coffee to get through the energy you need, and then just not being able to sleep. I think I was averaging about 4 hours of sleep a night at that time. And the way you feel and the difference from how I feel now and just the energy I get from working out, I absolutely love it. It's just night and day for me. So it's just amazing.
And I have to say, you've been so good with posting. You were so consistent. I mean, you are like the perfect challenger.
Thank you.
Why you've gotten those great results.
I enjoy it. So it's been awesome. So I love it because in my mind, I just put in my mind like, oh my God, they're waiting for me. I just pretend. I don't know if you guys are really waiting for my result, in my mind, I'm like, they're waiting for it. So that was like my biggest challenge is like eating enough meals, eating enough healthy meals and getting that all in. So being in the challenge group has been like, so it's like, it's what I needed. It's what I was waiting for. So it's been an amazing journey. Thank you guys.
Awesome. So we're very proud of you. Keep it up. I know that now you're working on strength, gaining muscle, and all that good stuff. So you've done an amazing job, and we're super proud of you.
Thank you.
Great job, Lee. And yeah, I'm very proud of you too. And I just wanted to recap a couple of things that you just said. The key points that I took away from what you had mentioned in your whole interview is you didn't have time. It was not your own time. There were certain nights that you couldn't get to it because you're working on other people's schedule. And again, that right there is why a lot of people fail. They're working on someone else's schedule, not their own. You quit. You ended up not going on because of that, but then you found some positive motivation within some friends that were doing workouts, and rekindled you, right? Those workouts being Beachbody. Then you got more motivation from your family, seeing those results and friends. You gained energy back, which you didn't have before. And it was all because you, everything that led up to it was because of accountability. So you had people waiting for you, people in the group counting on you to post, to see what you were doing, you know, and then they were rooting for you the same way you're rooting for them. So that was reciprocal right there. So the group is what kept you accountable. And that's what, again, we're all doing right now. As a coach, you're doing excellent. And as challengers, you're, like Wendy said, amazing. So great job. So great job. You know, we're really proud of you, and your results are outstanding.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you again. So we're going to move on to Amy. Did anyone have questions for Lisa before we moved on to Amy? 1 second. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll answer them at the end as well. All right, guys? So Amy, take it away.
Thanks. I want to introduce my friend Becky Youngman. Becky will tell you a little bit about herself, but I have to tell you, I was racking my brain for all the, you know, the numbers, the stats, the info about her to let you know who she is and what she's about before she starts to talk. And the first thing I thought was, how old is Becky? And I literally have no idea how old Becky is. And here's why. Because she looks so young and because she has such a young spirit. And I mean, I've known Becky now for almost 10 years, since we've lived in Florida for a short time and became friends. And I still literally have no idea. She's 35 years old to me and will always be. And so I want to introduce you to Becky. Becky has been in my challenge group for a few months now, and I've just been so inspired by her and her perseverance through plateaus, through you know, I had a transformation of like 15 pounds in the first round of 21 Day Fix, and Becky had her transformation has been very gradual, but as we talk about all the time, it's about progress, not perfect. It's not necessarily about a whole bunch of loss all at once, right? It's about sticking with it and consistency. And I love Becky's story for that reason. And so I want to introduce her to you. So you want to unmute yourself, Becky? I see that you're still muted. And can you tell the group a little bit about yourself and what you do for a living and where you live, your family, that sort of thing?
I will. Thank you, Amy. I wish I could carry you around in my pocket all the time. I like that. 35 forever. I'm going to stick with that number. I'm 58, and so I'm probably older than most of the other women that are in our group. And I will admit that sometimes it can be a little bit challenging when I see everybody losing all those pounds so quickly. So I appreciate your encouragement. But I live in South Florida, which is where Amy and I met. I'm in the West Palm Beach area. And I'm an educator. I was a teacher for 22 years, and I've been in district office administration for about 10 years. And I am married, and my husband is also in education. And we have a 22-year-old daughter who is overseas getting her master's degree right now.
Awesome. Becky, tell the group kind of, I'm going off script a little. I gave her the list of questions, but it just occurred to me that what I really want to ask you is what led you, what led you to reach out to me and to join my challenge group back in, I think it was October was when you first joined us. And I want to know what led to that for you.
Well, I had just been on a visit to see my family up north over the summer, and I don't get up there very often, but I will say I'm the thinnest person in my family. My mother and my sister are both very overweight. They are not in good health. And there was a picture, and I sent you a picture, this picture of me with my mother and my sister. And when I looked at that picture and I looked at my weight, and I thought, I'm turning into my mother and my sister. And I was starting to have health issues. I used to run, so I stayed thin, and I'm a pretty healthy eater. But I had gotten to a point where I had injured my foot. I couldn't run anymore. So I really was just trying to maintain it by eating properly, and not overeating or eating too much junk. But there was a lot of stress at work. I've been through 4 changes in administration in 4 years. So there's always food at the office. I started to stress eat. And I looked at that picture and I thought, oh, I can't do it. I'm turning into them. I'm losing my health. And I retire in 3 years. And I don't want to be one of those people who, after I retire, I lose my health and can't do anything. I mean, after working all these years to be able to enjoy myself, and I'm still pretty young. My daughter's young. I'm someday, I hope, going to be a grandma, and I want to be able to enjoy my retirement. So I saw your Facebook post and saw the picture of you where you had shown how much weight you'd lost, and I thought, oh, that's fabulous. That's what I need to do.
And really, Becky's been in the group. I think you might have been in my very first group, Becky, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And we've grown, right? We had,
Yeah.
that was probably 5 or 6 people in that first group, and now we're up to 35 people in the group. So Becky's been there for a long, long time, and she's seen, as she has been growing in her transformation, she's witnessed a lot of other people going through their transformations. So tell us, Becky, so you kind of explained a little bit about what led to, obviously there was an emotional response to seeing a picture of yourself and seeing something very familiar sitting there next to your sister and your mom who have struggled with their weight and with their health, and you didn't want that to happen to you, right? I hear that.
Right.
And you acted on it, and you asked for help, and so glad that you joined our group. So are there any other diets or other kind of workout programs that you had done before you tried joining our challenge group?
I just, years ago, I'd been in a car accident and I had been on medication that caused me to gain weight. I've been really pretty consistent in my weight and my size my whole adult life. So it wasn't something, I guess I'm lucky it wasn't something I ever really struggled with. But at that point, when I had gained weight from the medication, I had done the South Beach diet and it was effective. And I lost the weight and I maintained it because I used to run. And again, I'm a pretty healthy eater for the most part. And so I hadn't really had to worry about it again. So it wasn't until I really realized from that picture and from looking at the number on the scale that it was time to do something again.
So tell the group how much total weight and or inches you've lost and in what time frame?
Well, I started with you in October with our group, and since October, the total that I've lost is 22 pounds and 14 and a half inches. So when I look at it overall, it sounds great, but I got to say it didn't come fast. The very first round, I did lose 7 pounds pretty quickly, but only a few inches. And then it was really just slow, about 3 or 4 pounds at a time. I had one round where I only lost like 1.5 pounds and 2 inches, and so that was a little bit frustrating. But I'm pretty persistent, so I just kept going, and so figured out that if I added in the 10-minute abs in addition to my regular 30-minute workout, that was effective. And then if at the end of one of my rounds, if I felt like I hadn't really been, I guess, committed constantly to the exercising or to the food, that if I did a cleanse, that would help me feel better as well. So I think that it's been pretty good and pretty consistent, slow going. I'm sure due in part to my age. I mean, after menopause, it's a lot harder to lose weight than it is when you're younger. But I'm proud of myself. I think I've done a good job. In fact, after in January when I went to the doctor, it was my first visit back since I had started, and I had to have all my blood work and everything done. And I was his last appointment of the day. And when I went in and he looked at my blood work, he said, I have to tell you, you just made my day. He said, you're the best appointment I've had all day long. Your numbers look great. Your sugar's right. Your cholesterol's right. He had told me that I needed to start paying attention to those things, and I was getting blood tests every couple of months there for a while. So that was good news.
Well, Becky really has shown great perseverance. And I've said that to her many, many times along the way. You know, a lot of people get discouraged when they only have a 1 pound weight loss, or they have 0 weight loss in a 21-day round. And I would always encourage Becky to go back and, okay, look at the measurements. Okay. And if it did stay the same, then we would just regroup. And I love that when you would hit those walls or those plateaus, you would come back to me. Or I remember times when you came to the group and shared your struggle with that and your frustration with that. And so that leads me to a question. I'm not even sure if this is on my list. Sorry, I totally go off script. I don't mean to do that.
Okay.
But, well, so how has the group worked for you? Because you've been a very consistent poster in the group, maybe not every single day, but most days for the last several months, you've been posting either a post-workout pic or a food pic or some sort of a check-in. Mm-hmm. And so I just want to ask you what that's meant for you to have that in your daily routine.
It's really been very helpful for me, and I think that it's one of the reasons that I've been able to stick with it. Because it is valuable, I think, to have a group of people that you feel accountable to, that you feel like you're also helping them. And so that accountability has been, I think, the thing that's kept me consistent. If I've had a frustrating day, the fact that, you know, other folks do too, so you can see that too. We're all honest with each other. So we all have those days where we're right on track. But we help each other through it, and you just start over the next day, and that's been really. So it's. I don't think I would have been successful or stuck with it if I didn't have the accountability group.
Oh, that's wonderful. And last question: how does your family feel about this, and have they responded or reacted, or what have they had to say?
Yeah, well, my daughter came home for Christmas and was doing the exercises with me, and she's, like I said, she's 22, and I got a kick out of it because she works out in the gym and she lifts weights and she rides horses, and she's very active and pretty fit. And we were doing one of the exercises, and she was getting worn out before me, and I was so proud. I'm like, all right, I'm 58, you're 22, I got this.
Yeah.
But I love that she did it with me, and she told me that she was very proud of me for sticking with it, so that made me really feel good. And my husband, at first, I didn't want to impose on him, so I just kind of did my thing and, you know, fed him too. But like I said, we generally eat pretty well most of the time anyway, so I didn't really say anything. I just would make, you know, healthy food. And he actually just failed his physical for health insurance. And so he just told me this week, I think I need to start doing the thing. So,
it trickles down, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then I have 2 colleagues at work who noticed my weight loss, and one of them has joined our group, and then the other one might. So that made me feel good as well to know that other people noticed. So.
That's awesome, Becky. Thank you so much for taking the time to share with us. And it's really a story of inspiration, especially at the stage of life when you're, you know, when you do get to like I said, you're 35 to me forever, but when you get to the age that you actually are, you're right. Your metabolism can work against you if you're not paying really close attention, and you have just rocked it. You have just gotten it back in control, and you stuck with it through the difficult times and those plateaus and, you know, donuts in the office and all of those trips across the pond, all kinds of things that Becky's had in her world, and she's persevered. And so I'm really proud of her. So thank you, Becky, for sharing your story.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Becky. And before you go, I just want to say amazing transformation. your transformation is inspiring, especially being 58. You remind me of one of the ladies on our side, Ida, who's also your age and has a great transformation. So, it's not easy when, like you said yourself, when you're at a different stage of your life that to lose weight or to gain muscle or to make changes. But a couple of things I wanted to point out from your story was you were eating healthy. And a lot of people eat healthy, but something that you had said was you needed to eat properly. So eating healthy and eating properly are two different things. And what I took away from that was that you figured out through the group how to commit to eating properly, the accountability. You learned about different ab workouts. You shared your transformation with the group, and you shared your tough days with the group, and the group gave it right back to you. And that's what it does to be in an accountability group. You get what you give. If you give a little, you get back a little. You give a lot, you get more. And your story right there, you're probably, you're a challenger right now. You're probably coaching a lot of those people in that group, and they're looking at you. And by you knowing that they're looking at you is making you show up every single day. And that's what it's all about. So again, great story. And the last note I was going to touch on that you saw a transformation from Amy, and that's how you guys connected, and that's what it is. It's about sharing. We continue to share our stories, and that's why people want to be together in a group like this, because we all have similar goals and similar paths that we want to get to. So again, thank you for all that information. Amazing story. Keep it up. And Nilda, pass it off to you.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing. You guys really do have an amazing transformation, both Lisa and Becky. Thank you. And you guys have to excuse my voice. It's like I'm hoping that it lasts through the rest of the call. I have the amazing pleasure of introducing my dear friend and coworker, Georgine Fullerton. I met Georgine when I started teaching at Columbus. And amazingly enough, let me tell you, as a teacher, she is one of the kindest, one of the most passionate, and one of the most caring individuals that I've ever met, especially with children. She is someone that I always looked at and aspired to be like when I was a teacher. And I think that we even have someone on our call who she was their teacher. Is Emma? I think I saw Emma a little while ago.
Yes.
Here she goes. So, Emma, can you just unmute yourself really quick and just say what grade you had Georgine as your teacher?
Second.
I don't want to cry, okay? Because I told you.
I don't either.
I'm 33 now, and I had her in second grade. And I had her when I came back from Mexico. So I didn't know any English, like whatsoever. And when I tell you that she was just so like warm, and it was because of her. Obviously I was in ESL, to help me with my English, but because of her, I felt comfortable. I hated going to school because I didn't know any English at all. And kids teased me in second grade. So Ms. Fullerton, thank you. When I found out that you had you, I just couldn't be happier. You helped him also. But for me, that was amazing. A little kid coming back to the States, scared. And thank you for that.
To you too,
And if you didn't catch that, she was also, if you guys didn't catch that, she was also her son Daniel's teacher in kindergarten as well.
Yes.
Yes. So that was pretty awesome. But that's Georgine. That's the kind of person that she is. And if you met her, you would get that right away. She's just like got a heart of gold. And she's also one of my best, and I'm not just saying this, you are my best seller challenger. Like, this is the girl who Saturday morning, like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting her stats. I never had to chase her for stats. I always had them waiting for me in my email when I woke up. And she has been the most consistent challenger I've ever had in this group since I started. So I do want to thank you for that. So just let's go right into it. And could you tell them, Georgine, just a little bit about well, we obviously know that you're a teacher because I kind of said that already.
Yes.
You are retired now, correct?
Yes.
And
Yes.
enjoying the
4
life.
years. Yep. Loving it. Yep.
He's from
And
sunny Florida, right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
And could you just tell me a little bit about your family life right now?
Yeah. Right now, I am helping to take care of my mom. She lives with me in Scarsdale, and then I'm down here to Florida and spend time down here. So that's part of my life. I'm divorced. And I have a brother and sister. And that's about it right now. And hopefully I'll have a man in my life soon.
You don't need them. You don't need them. You're good without them.
Yeah. And just as an aside, I'm not ashamed to say I'm older than the other ladies. I'm 65.
Woo!
Yeah.
And she's killing it. Killing it. Like, she could put some of my other challenges to shame. She's killing it. Thank you.
I'm trying.
Could you tell us a little bit about like, what drew you to join my challenge group? Like what was going on in your life during that time that led you to joining?
As one of the other gals said, I was always thin. I never had a problem with my weight. Maybe just at puberty, and that was about it. But then about 10 years ago, I developed thyroid disease. And it got consistently worse. My thyroid grew to 3 times the size of a normal thyroid. And the weight just poured on. Slowly, but, you turn around and there it is. And I found myself very unhappy, very frustrated, tired. I dressed to cover up my weight. I mean, I love clothes. I'm really into shopping and fashion and all of that. And I always found myself trying to find tops and things that would cover up my problem areas. So when I saw your posts on Facebook in October, I was at a really low point. I had had the thyroid out. I forgot to say that. I did have a thyroidectomy. And I was getting my body used to Synthroid, which is a medication I'll have to take for the rest of my life. And I think at that point, as the medication was starting to take effect and I was getting used to it, I said, I've got to do something about this weight. And I saw your posts and you inspired me. I said, I saw what you were doing and I said, I'm going to try this. This is going to work. I like the sound of the support. I like the sound of the exercise program and the portion control. And this is what got me going. And I contacted you.
Awesome. I remember that day. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was my birthday you signed up. Was it September 29, like towards the end of September?
Yeah, towards the end of September, the beginning of October, I think. And then I began mid-October. I was gung-ho. I was ready.
What program did you start with? Could you just share which program you started?
Oh, sure. I started with the 21-day fix, and I did that consistently for a couple of months. And then I did Country Heat. And I love it. And I'm doing hip-hop abs, and I love that. Love Shaun T. And I tried size, and I'm going to, I've been kind of playing around with some of the other programs to see what other ones I like. I love dancing, so I like anything that keeps me going.
I was just about to say that because I remember our parties.
Yes.
And
we
she
love
was
dancing.
always the first one on the dance floor, just like doing it. So I wasn't surprised that you were going to love Country Heat.
Yeah.
I was like, you won't be square dancing, I promise.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about how much weight you lost and in how much time?
Okay. So to date, I've lost 21.2 pounds to be exact, and 29.5 inches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you see that again? See that number again.
The weight or the inches?
The inches again.
29.5,
Nice.
which is a lot for me.
That's a lot.
Nothing was coming off in the past, and this is like incredible for me. My problem areas, it was all in the waist, in the hips, and the buns, and that's why I'm trying to do a lot of the programs that target those areas. And it's working. It's working.
It was. And if you guys haven't gotten a chance to see her pictures, go back to the event page because Homegirl has abs. Literally has abs now, which is awesome.
It is. For me, it's awesome.
How does your family feel about your transformation now?
Very excited. My sister is, very sports oriented, and she goes to the gym all the time, and she's very excited for me. She was upset that I was, not doing well, because of the thyroid and whatever. My mother also is very excited. As a matter of fact, she said to me yesterday, I had my bathing suit on, she goes, your thighs are looking pretty good, girl. And today's my brother and sister-in-law's 25th anniversary, and we were up there right before we left for Florida, and she mentioned to me tonight, she goes, I didn't say anything to you when you were up, she said, but she goes, you lost a lot of weight. She goes, how did you do it? And I said, beach body. So she goes, you'll have to tell me more about it. I said, well, I have to get off the phone because I have a call with them. I said, I'll tell you more about it tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and friends too. The girls at school were excited. They were amazed, because they knew how frustrated I was. And, it's an accomplishment. It really is.
Awesome.
Mm.
I think that's pretty much all the questions I had for you, unless you wanted to add something else.
No, it's the only thing I'd like to say is that, I guess with the way my body was reacting to the medical problem I had, exercising was such a struggle for me. I was always sluggish and tired, and that's normal, because of what I was experiencing. But I look so forward to my workouts, during the day. I can't wait to see which one I'm going to do, which one I'm going to pick. And for me, that's great. It's a great feeling, and I have so much more energy, and I'm happier. I feel more confident. It's just great. It's a great feeling. It really is.
I literally can say that I have not only seen you transform physically, but I think emotionally and just throughout this whole process. I remember in the beginning, you didn't post your picture.
I would never.
You would say, I drank this, or I did this workout, but it took you maybe a month or maybe a month and a half for you to finally, I think I told you, I said, I want to see your pretty face up there.
I know you did.
And I said, let's go. I think you're ready now. And then I think once you stepped out of that comfort zone and you started posting your pictures, I was seeing her picture every single day. I was seeing your psychology every day. And
it's true.
I have to tell you, you have inspired so many people in our group. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, thank you. And you all have inspired and helped me too. And I think that's part of the effectiveness of this program. The support that you get from your coach and from your, the people in your group. I think it's great. That's what, you need. And it makes the big difference, I believe.
It does. Why go it alone, right? When you can have support.
Absolutely. And it's nice for me. I don't know if I said I do. In the past, I took care of my father, who unfortunately passed away. I was always doing caregiving, and I'm kind of doing that now too. And although my mother's in great shape, I think you've met my mom. She's a Spitfire, but still, the point is, I really didn't have much time for me, and now I make sure I have that 30 minutes for me, and it's fine. No matter what.
Yes. Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jordy.
Thank you. Love you.
Awesome. Thank you, Nilda. Thank you, Georgine. Amazing story. I love it. All of you ladies here tonight, thank you for sharing your stories. I had a couple of points to actually close out the call because you were the last speaker tonight, and there were great ones to close with about your story. You had a health issue, like many people. They wait till their last minute to join something because of their health. And that's the kind of message that we have to try to get across, that, health is wealth. Don't wait till it's gone before, you join a group. But you actually, again, like many, went out and you saw transformation, and that brought you in. You saw another coach, and that's what makes me proud about everybody on this call, that you're sharing your transformations and you're helping to save lives. Because like Ms. Fullerton, or I'll call you Georgine, since we're friends now, just like your transformation and just like what you wanted support. You wanted to be held accountable like many people do. People want to be held accountable. They want to be told, hey, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. And they want that help along their journey. So I'm glad that you were able to get it. Your transformations are amazing. Thank you for everything. Your attitude is great. You, Becky, Lisa, have the best attitudes. It was a great call with you. So once again, unless anyone has any other questions, anyone have anything in the chat? Let me just see. Just a lot of amazings and great and inspirations. All right, so if no one has any other questions, thank you so much for your time tonight. It was a pleasure once again. And have a great evening, folks.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.